Inspired by true events. Well, kind of. Today we're talking about The Strangers from 2008. With a 50% tomato meter, a 48% popcorn meter, and a 6.1 on IMDb, surprisingly, this was a huge box office success with $9 million budget and an $82.5 million box office. The Strangers is a movie that I am not a big fan of. Written and directed by Brian Bertino, this film has a very small cast of only 8 actors. Liv Tyler, Scott Speedman, and Glenn Howerton has a short scene. That's right, It's Always Sunny's Dennis, Glenn Howerton, takes a bullet in the head on this movie. We've also got 2 boys selling religion door to door and the 3 killers. Only 8 people in this entire film. Very short cast. Most of it is Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman. Out of the 3 masked killers, only 2 of them have lines. The male masked killer never says a word throughout the movie, so really there's only 7 people, if you will. This is a good psychological horror or terror film, if you will, as it's about a home invasion. This couple goes up to this cabin on the water and they're terrorized from outside of their house. There is some psychological suspense in this movie. And if the box wouldn't have said inspired by a true story, I probably would have enjoyed this much more, but the whole time I'm thinking this is actually inspired by a true story. So, spoiler alerts for the rest of the video, but this is not inspired at all by a true story. I don't know how you can even put that on the box. The 2 events that inspired this, one, the Manson family killings, and they're completely opposite. Like, the Manson family killings, they didn't terrorize the couple. They went in, they killed, they spread the blood, they left. It was not even close to the Manson family, and that rumor is kind of debunked on the internet. The other part that you have to go on is a story about Brian Bertino as a child hearing about some neighborhood robberies where they would show up to a house, knock on the door. If no one answered, then they'd break into the house and rob them. If someone answered, they'd ask for a fake name and then walk away. How is that even close to what happens in this movie? How can you put inspired by a true events? This is not inspired by anything. This is a completely fictional story, and that's fine. It's a horror movie. Why do you have to put inspired by true events? At the end of the movie, I'm like, what the fuck? She lived? No. I started looking it up. It's all fake. None of this even matters. None of this happened. It's not inspired by a true story at all, and it pissed me off. It's all BS. Not one thing is an actual true event. Not one. It's just put on the cover to sell the box. I was very pissed at that. Luckily, this is a DVD copy, and I picked this up for 50 cents. Didn't buy it at Blockbuster. 50-cent bin. It was worth the hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes runtime. Like, it's an okay horror movie. And if it didn't say inspired by true events, I'd probably rate it a lot higher. But you selling bullshit kind of pisses me off. So, it is a pretty good psychological horror movie. It's a little slower. The film starts with this couple fighting and Liv Tyler is kind of being an asshole. I'm not sure why. Clearly something happened and they're fighting. So they drive up to this cabin in the woods type thing, this little house, his parents' lake house or hunting lodge, whatever you want to call it. They drive up there. She walks in, boom, decked out with rose petals, champagne. The guy had done everything. So, of course, she's like, oh, I'm sorry about being an asshole. This looks really nice. And, of course, he's like, oh, I did it all for you, honey. Completely ridiculous bullshit. I don't understand a lot of the dialogue between the couple to start the film. And that's the first 30 minutes, 25 at least. Eventually, the simp guy is like, well, fuck this. I'm going to go eat ice cream and drink champagne. I'm going to get fat and drunk, which good on him. So he heads out to the living room. Then they start to kind of reconnect. They start going at it. They're about to hook up, and they hear a knock at the door at 4 o'clock in the morning, in the middle of nowhere. All right, first of all, if you're about to get some, don't answer the door. Second of all, if it's 4 in the morning and you're out in the middle of nowhere, don't answer the door. And third of all, if you do answer the door and some creepy little shit has unscrewed the light bulbs, lock the door or get the hell out of that house. Something's going on. Why is that kid out at 4 o'clock in the morning? I don't understand these two. They pulled the stupidest horror movie cliches that you could possibly do throughout the entire film to set up the premise of this. I would have been gone immediately. And also, if you do all of those 3 things and answer the door at 4 o'clock in the morning, Don't split up. So 10 minutes later, they're sitting there and Liv Tyler's like, I'm out of cigarettes. He's like, I'll go get you some. She goes, no, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, it is. You wanted him to go get you cigarettes. Why would you say it? And by the way, she's not even out of damn cigarettes, because while he's gone, she smokes another cigarette. She's just being an asshole. This is a big reason why I'm kind of blackpilled these days. I'm done with this shit. Like, no. Go get your own damn cigarettes. You know we're going to the goddamn woods for 2 days. What? You didn't bring a carton with you? That's your problem, lady. I don't understand this. To top it all off, it turns into a pretty suspenseful movie. They're being terrorized by 3 masked villains. Like, okay, it's an alright movie. And at 10 minutes before the credits roll, I'm like, alright, this is a pretty good movie. I'm thinking 7, maybe 8 out of 10 on the must-watch meter. It's an alright movie. But no, the last 10 minutes really just shot right down the drain for me. First of all, as the killers leave, they're driving in a truck down the road. They pass the 2 church kids. They stop the truck, creepy, in the street. They hop out. One of them talks to the church kid. She's like, can I have a pamphlet for your church? He's like, I don't know. Are you a sinner? Well, sometimes. Everything's just slowly delivered and pretty shitty writing, if you ask me. So he gives her a pamphlet. They get back in the truck. And then you hear one of them say, it'll be easier next time. Okay, how is that relevant to this story? You're just setting up the sequel, which there's 5 of them now, so I guess that was the purpose. Second of all, at the very end, Liv Tyler moves. It looks like she's alive. So I start to Google it on my phone. Did she live? I mean, it's inspired by true events, right? Did she make it through this movie? No, it's all bullshit. This is all made up. None of these people existed. None of this is true. How can you put that on a cover? And third of all, how you know Liv Tyler's still alive is at the very end, the little church boy reaches over and touches her, and she jumps. One last little jump scare. Then credits roll, boom, movie over. Why are you taking one cheap little jump scare? This movie pissed me off so bad. It had a lot going for it. Again, I was going to give it a 7, maybe an 8 on the must-watch meter. No, I'm giving it a 6.0 on the must-watch meter. It's okay. It's an alright scary movie. I don't see how this could ever be your favorite movie because it pissed me off so bad. Again, take that out, maybe I would have liked it a lot more. For our Halloween rating, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3 out of 5 on the jump scare. There are a few jump scares. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 4 out of 5 on the chills meter. I mean, it is kind of freaky. Like, there's people knocking at different parts of the house. You don't know how many people are out there. It is a terrorizing movie. Our gore meter, 1 out of 5. There's only one bloody scene. It's not that much. There's a couple knife entry wounds that are pretty slow and deliberate, which are kind of haunting, but 1 out of 5 on the gore meter. I don't know if you should watch this Halloween. Here are our top 5 facts about The Strangers. Fact number 5, the original title for the film was going to be called The Faces. I guess the mask was already taken. Fact number 4, Liv Tyler had tonsillitis while recording this movie, and in order to get her body and emotions and everything amped up before each scene take, she would go out and run or do jumping jacks or some sort of physical exercise to get herself a little bit out of breath and her heart pounding a little bit, which I kind of like that. She still didn't put up a great performance in this film, but I mean, she's clearly gotten the job by nepotism. Her father's Steven Tyler of Aerosmith. Not the greatest actress, but nonetheless, I appreciate that. Fact number 3 about The Strangers. Director and writer Brian Bertini would actually tell Liv Tyler, okay, so whenever we start the scene, there's going to be a knock at this door, so you need to get scared and face that door. Then he would instruct the crew workers to knock over here, which is kind of cool, I guess. Like, that would give her a genuine surprise of, oh shit, like I thought it was coming from over here. Interesting fact. Fact number 2 about The Strangers. The song that you can hear being played in the background, Mama Tried, was written and recorded by Merle Haggard and his backup band, The Strangers. And interesting fact number 1 about The Strangers. The final scene of the movie where the killers finally unmask themselves off camera and let the 2 victims see them, they have a couple lines of dialogue. And one of the best lines is "because you were home." Kind of a tag to the whole movie. That was improvised. So you mean to tell me that out of the 2 lines that you wrote for the killers to say, One of them wasn't even your line. I'm sorry, Brian Bertino. I'm not thrilled with that. I think you kind of did a shitty job and sold a movie that wasn't true. For special effects on this, it's just a DVD copy. There's 2 deleted scenes. They run about 5 minutes, and there's a little 10-minute featurette called The Terror of Film or something like that. I'm not a fan. Not a big recommendation. 6 out of the 10 on the must-watch meter. Give it a shot if you want. The Strangers.